News Hour at 9. Co-powered by Siska. Light years ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9 p.m. and you're with me, Navika Kumar, on the News Hour this evening. And once again, Times Now keeps up to its tradition of exposing sensational letter trails, documents that will reveal to you how Sonia Gandhi has been often accused of running the Manmohan Singh government through a remote. Ladies and gentlemen, Times Now has now accessed a sensational letter trail that gives further credence to that theory of running the government through a remote control. The Congress president, within days of the UPA government coming to power, has written letters directing the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram of carrying out and in fact interfering into investigations that were being carried out both by the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Board of Direct Taxes. That's the story that we are bringing to you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you what's most important in these letters to note. The first letter of June 15th, 2004, written by the then Editor-in-Chief of Tehelka, and this is the letter, ladies and gentlemen. If my camera person can just show you this letter addressed to Dr. Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister of India, 19 Safdarjung Road. He hadn't even moved in to his 7 Racecourse Road residence. This letter on 15th of June 2004 to Dr. Manmohan Singh, written by Tarun Tejpal, Editor-in-Chief of Tehelka. And look at the response that comes within days of this letter. On 18th of June, Sonia Gandhi writes a follow-up letter to the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister on 25th of June responds to that letter of Sonia Gandhi, says, I have received your letter of 18th June. All about Tarun Tejpal and Tehelka regarding investigations pending against them. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this sensational letter, this letter written to Sonia Gandhi by the directors of the investing company into Tehelka. This is Devina Mehra and Shankar Sharma, who wrote this letter on the 20th of September to Sonia Gandhi. This is Sonia Gandhi's address. Respected Madam, they are asking for interference in the entire matter of the investigations. They want the Tehelka Commission, Fukan Commission being wound up. And Sonia Gandhi on 27th of September, within 7 days, writes to the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. And this is not an ordinary letter, ladies and gentlemen. This is a letter that has a DO number, which in government language means it's a diary entered formal letter, not by a member of parliament but by the National Advisory Council chairperson Sonia Gandhi. This is an extra constitutional position that was proved in 2006 as an office of profit that was used by Sonia Gandhi to write this letter to P. Chidambaram, where she says, I have been informed that this matter has already been discussed in a high-level meeting and certain corrective measures have been agreed to. Sonia Gandhi being kept informed about high-level meetings of the government. She says, I would like you to look into these issues on priority to ensure that no unfair and unjust treatment is meted out. And P. Chidambaram notes on this file. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the signature of P. Chidambaram. He says, please speak, put up draft file reply and ask ED and CBDT to come in. Obtain files from the Enforcement Directorate and the CBDT. Files of investigations were called for by P. Chidambaram after receiving this letter, which was put in the Finance Minister's file FM/IMP, important file. And this is the draft reply, ladies and gentlemen, this draft reply of Finance Minister, where he says, this matter has received my personal attention. I have already directed the income tax authorities not to oppose the petition of Mr. Shankar Sharma and Devina Mehra to travel abroad. The High Court has therefore permitted them to travel. So he directs the income tax authorities to take back the case against the directors, the investors in the Tehelka group. Just why was Sonia Gandhi actually interfering in the entire investigation of Tehelka? That's the question we ask on the Newshour tonight, and that's the hashtag Sonia Tejpal quid pro quo. We are calling that on the Newshour tonight, and we'll take you through the entire story of how this entire matter was interfered to by an extra constitutional authority, the National Advisory Council chairperson Sonia Gandhi. Let's take a look at the headlines before we move on to the big story, the top headlines of the day. Times Now accesses sensational Sonia Chidambaram mail trail that helped bury probe against Tarun Tejpal's Tehelka. Only channel with the letter trail from Tehelka's letter to Sonia Gandhi as well as Chidambaram's draft reply letter. Times Now details the entire scandal that let Tehelka off the hook. Minutes before Times Now's expose, Chidambaram responds to expose, says he responded correctly to the material put up to him. Is he pinning the blame on Sonia Gandhi?
So Manmohan Singh, Chidambaram and Sonia Gandhi, the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate should register cases.
BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy hints that the government should soon probe Sonia. Swamy claims a case of Official Secrets Act being violated that should be slapped on Congress president. India stands with cartoonist Bala, who was threatened, intimidated and arrested for his critical cartoon. Has emergency been declared on the media?
सोर्सिंग कंपनी के जरिए भी हम अपने किसी काम के लिए किसी की सेवा लेंगे तो उसमें आरक्षण के प्रावधान का पालन करना।
Can't get more absurd than this. Indian netas won't promote merit for a new India. Instead, they will shamefully seek quota on the basis of caste in private sector.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me this evening on the big breaking story and the hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, is Sonia Tarun Tejpal. Quid pro quo. Send us your tweets, send us your questions, and also write to me on involve.in/newshour, and we'll take up your questions here on the Newshour as we bring you this big breaking story. Joining me this evening, Gaurav Bhatia, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Ajay Alok, spokesperson of the JDU, Subrashta, researcher of India Foundation, joining me live from our studios in Noida, Ravi Sharma, lawyer of Tarun Tejpal, joining me here from Noida as well, Dr. Fuad Halim, spokesperson of the CPIM, Tehseen Poonawala, columnist, also with us in our studios, and Alimuddin Khan, political analyst, joining me live from Delhi. My first question goes out to Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia, do you find it strange that this letter, it's a whole trail, it's a letter written by Tarun Tejpal to the Prime Minister responding to Sonia Gandhi getting a letter from the investors of Tehelka, and then writing to the Finance Minister, and the Finance Minister in his draft reply gives the whole game away. He says, I'm directing the income tax authorities. Isn't this direct interference by Sonia Gandhi in a matter that was being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Board of Direct Taxes in 2004?
Navika, I am reminded of the phrase used by the Honorable Supreme Court for CBI during the UPA regime, a caged parrot. And I've gone through various letters written by Mr. Tarun Tejpal, Sonia Gandhi ji and others as well. The ED, the CBI, the Income Tax Department were fulfilling their duty. They were acting against a person who had committed irregularities, who had taken law in his own hands. And I would first like to discuss Sonia Gandhi ji's letter. What is her business as the chairperson of the National Advisory Council, which seems more like a National Directory Council, directing even the finance minister of the country to interfere in an ongoing investigation? Why should she write on this official letterhead is my first question. Second is, an accused person who moves the Bombay High Court is not granted relief because the letter written by Tehelka itself says that we only got limited relief from the Bombay High Court on this count, and even though the Honorable High Court had given the IT department an option to withdraw, the IT department is not doing so. So above the High Court there is an extra constitutional body, and let us for a moment think like a citizen of the country and forget it is Sonia Gandhi. Why should Sonia Gandhi be interfering in the matters relating to a probe of such serious nature? Is she above the High Court? And would a common man have access to Sonia Gandhi and such favors? It clearly requires a case to be registered against Sonia Gandhi. And why do I say that? Not only under the Official Secrets Act, but the ministers themselves take an oath of secrecy under the Constitution of India. The letter of Sonia Gandhi ji says, I have been informed that this matter has already been discussed in a high-level meeting. Who is informing Sonia Gandhi ji? As chairperson, she has not even taken the oath of secrecy, but she is privy to all the sensitive data. Rather, she is influencing the decision-making process, and I think it's a serious charge of probity, of propriety, crony capitalism, and abuse of position by Sonia Gandhi. She has no right to be the chairperson of the leading party of India. She needs to resign immediately after this, because she is worse than a culprit who has committed crime. On being the leader, she is influencing probe, CBID, Income Tax Department. This is the worst kind of, insensitivity and illegality that we would see from a top leader.
Well, Tehseen Poonawalla, may I draw your attention to the draft reply?
I read the letter.
Draft reply?
Read.
No channel has the draft reply. Nobody has seen this draft reply that Times Now has accessed. And in this draft reply says, I have already directed the income tax authorities not to oppose the petition of Mr. Shankar Sharma. This is the finance minister in response to a letter of Sonia Gandhi says, I am referring to your letter of 27 September. So he is responding to her and saying, I have directed the income tax authorities not to oppose. Isn't this the direct interference? And look at the timing. On 27th of September, Sonia Gandhi writes this letter. 28th of September, the draft reply is accessed of P. Chidambaram. And on 5th of October, the Phukan Commission that had been set up to investigate Tehelka
should be scrapped.
Is wound up.
Yes.
7 days from the letter of Sonia Gandhi. Tehseen Poonawalla, isn't this what led to making investigation agencies into caged parrots?
My friend Gaurav is a brilliant lawyer and he's very articulate, dressed like me today. However, Gaurav makes a few technical errors. First, Mrs. Gandhi was it was not the Office of Profit because that was then changed.
Doesn't make a difference.
Come on, Gaurav, I did not interfere. I did not interfere. Come on, Gaurav. Let's have a fair debate.
No.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about
it is an advisory body. What business does the body have to interfere with the investigation that was ongoing?
Yes, please. Yes. When you don't have facts, Gaurav, you interfere.
No.
I got your facts.
Yes.
I'll come to it.
This is
one second. So the Office of Secrecy, if you do not interrupt me and permit me, Gaurav, does not apply OSA as some wise men, and even Gaurav said
to P. Chidambaram. It applies to P. Chidambaram.
To
P. Chidambaram is what I said.
He said it applies to P. Chidambaram. The minister is under oath.
First of all, I said the minister takes the oath.
Mrs. Gandhi.
I said
even to P. Chidambaram. Thank God you're not. Even to P. Chidambaram, it does not apply because both had cabinet ranks. Both had cabinet ranks.
I'm sorry, Tehseen Poonawala. Okay, gentlemen, 1 minute, gentlemen. Which is the wrong fact that you are contesting? 1 minute, gentlemen, 1 minute. May I? If we talk over each other, nobody will get through. I am asking.
What business has
1
Sonia Gandhi
minute.
ji?
Now do not change the goalpost.
No, I am not. I am not. First of all, she had not taken any oath of secrecy.
She had a cabinet rank.
So what?
Now,
A cabinet rank, not part.
You will give her a presidential rank.
Mr. Tehseen,
rank does not come within the framework.
No, it doesn't. Mr. Tehseen Poonawala.
Let me teach you how wrong your own facts.
1 minute, gentlemen. No, 1 minute. No, I must come in here. I must. 1 minute. I must come in here. I must come in here.
Try to teach you.
Mr. Tehseen Poonawala. Mr. Tehseen.
The Constitution of India. Let me
teach you something.
I'm not going to get into this. I think the most corrupt party of India is the Congress.
Therefore, Amit Shah resigned.
And let me tell you. Let me now. You have raised two points. Let's not shout at each other. I'll just clarify. For the sake of viewers, they need to understand a cabinet position given to Sonia Gandhi ji does not mean she has taken an oath of secrecy.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Tehseen Poonawala. You have erred here. 1 minute. Listen to me. No, I have to come in here. Subrashta, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me sort this out between the two gentlemen here in the studio. Tehseen Poonawala, a cabinet rank is not equivalent to a cabinet sworn-in position.
Absolutely.
Please know the difference. You are wrong on that point. And secondly, may I point out to you?
Explain to you.
You may explain. I have covered government. 1 minute. I have covered government for 25 years. Don't contest this. A cabinet rank is not equivalent to a sworn-in cabinet minister's position. Number one. And number two. National Advisory Council chairperson in 2006. Within a little while from here, in 2006 was declared as an office of profit.
And then they
because Sonia Gandhi was drawing salary from the National Advisory Council and as a member of Parliament, National Advisory Council.
Now can I talk?
Yes.
You finished?
Yes.
Okay. You say that the office of profit included the NAC. Was the amendment brought in or no? Is that
after she had to resign?
No one forced her to resign. She resigned.
That's not the question. Why is she writing these letters?
If she hadn't resigned, let me come in here. If she hadn't, 1 minute, Tehseen Poonawala, she resigned because she knew if she hadn't resigned, the election commission would have disqualified her like it did Jaya Bachchan just before that. And I have covered both those stories, all those developments in the election commission.
Please understand one thing that I'm saying. You are talking about an elected MP holding a cabinet rank. Let me finish my point. But I have never heard you speak about RSS having no cabinet.
No, that's not the point of discussion tonight.
Again, you will interrupt me.
You bring out a letter. Mr. Tehseen Poonawala, bring out a letter written by Mohan Bhagwat. Bring out a letter.
We can't discuss Kashmir today. We can't discuss education reservation. Sonia Gandhi ji, I'm saying even if she was the Prime Minister of India, she has no right to influence the investigation because that is what the Honorable Supreme Court says. Investigating bodies are independent bodies. But yes, we forgot. Under the UPA regime, they are caged parrots. We forgot that.
I have to get in the other panelists. I have
unrebuffed.
Other panelists.
Let's take his point forward. By his same logic, why does this logic not apply either to Sushma Swaraj?
Are you defending? Are you defending? If you are defending Sonia Gandhi ji, then
okay, let me get in.
Lalit Modi or
Let me get in, gentlemen.
Not the topic of discussion today. It's not the topic of. We have discussed it enough. Today there is a serious allegation.
Gentlemen,
there is a serious allegation against Sonia Gandhi ji. Let me just make quick 2 points.
And there's equally serious allegation against Ajit Doval's son in India Foundation.
I think today,
Ajit Doval is not a sworn-in cabinet minister, sir.
And NSE does not have to hold secrets. Ministers can be fixing deals.
so you are saying
what is the charge about holding secrets? What is the charge about holding secrets to NSA?
Funded by Saudi Arabia. Ministers who are doing defense
So you
funded
want
by Saudi Arabia.
You want all children.
If I am wrong,
So you want
admitted the wrongdoing of Sonia Gandhi ji. You have admitted that. Thank you so much. You know, this is what I was waiting for. He has nothing to defend.
Okay, I'm going across. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let me.
if I'm wrong.
Don't.
Sonia Gandhi ji will be sued, not you as the spokesperson. Sonia Gandhi ji is already out on bail, and she has
is a teddy par.
Okay,
I just want to say this.
1 minute. No, gentlemen. No, gentlemen. 1 minute. Tehseen Poonawala. 1 minute. I'm getting it.
Amit Shah ji has believed in the rule of law. Sonia Gandhi ji is breaking the rule of law.
That's why the man had a CBI.
Please don't shout.
Justice of India
Please don't shout. Please don't shout.
The same Chief Justice of India gave a clean chit. Please.
Please don't shout.
Okay, gentlemen. No, Gaurav Bhatia, I have to get in the other panelists. I have to get in the other panelists. It cannot, this debate cannot be, this debate cannot be monopolized by both of you. So I'm going across to Ajay Alok of the JDU. Ajay Alok. There is a letter written by Sonia Gandhi on the 27th of September 2004. On the 5th of October 2004, the Commission of Inquiry headed by Justice Fukan into the Tehelka matter is wound up. Is this a coincidence, or as per this draft letter of P. Chidambaram, it's very clear that he is directing all authorities not to contest the questions raised by investors of Tehelka and Tehelka itself?
See, Navika, why we are discussing all these, I don't understand. Who on this earth don't know about the facts of UPA? Sonia Gandhi very gracefully refused the Prime Minister's post, but all the reins were there in the Sonia Gandhi's hand. And well, she was fully authorized and she had the power to write to Prime Minister and Chidambaram. The question should be asked to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister then, that were they dummies? Were they dummies taking instruction from Sonia Gandhi if she doesn't hold any authority? And what Mr. Poonawala is saying, that she has not taken the oath of secrecy. Don't please use the technical shade to save her. I mean, what was that, a banana country at that point of time, till 2014? That anybody coming from outside and just giving directions to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, and the Finance Minister is writing a letter to income tax to drop the cases? Is that how the country functioned for the last 10 years? This is the question to be asked, and this is a serious question. And this, if this can happen once, and I guess you know why it had happened? Because Congress is a very seasoned party. But in 2004, they were returning to power after 9 years of gap, you know. That could be one of the reasons that they must have taken and written these letters. Otherwise, I didn't expect Congress to do such a stupidity. One phone call of Sonia Gandhi was enough. Why to have all these written documental evidence and write that too from National Advisory Council, writing
because it was within 3 days. Ajay Alok, look at the timing. Look at the timing. The first letter. 1 minute. The first letter was written. The first letter was written in June 15th of 2004, which was the time when the Prime Minister was still in his residence that he was as a leader of opposition. He hadn't even moved into 7 Racecourse Road, and September of 2004 was just 3 months after the government had been sworn in June 22nd.
Correct. How impatient were they after they came to power? How impatient were they? The desperation of 9 years of losing power from 1995 to 2004, the desperation was clearly reflecting in the act. And that's what the Congress is doing right now also, that out of power for last 3.5 years, they are just desperate. They are frustrated. And if they come back to the power again, by any good means, maybe in 2029 or something, this is what they are going to repeat again. This is a clear-cut warning to the nation and all your viewers that look, this party, how it behaves when it comes to the power. I mean, they could have simply called up. I just don't understand how Congress did this stupidity. Maybe Sonia Gandhi was never in the power. She enjoyed the power for the first time, so she was responding like that. Otherwise, that seasoned Congressee cannot do like this. I'm quite sure about it, because they know how to handle power. But this coming after 9 years of it was just an act of desperation. Just within 1 month, they are writing to Prime Minister, they are writing to Finance Minister, making a mockery of this system of this country, just making it like a banana country, as if we are living in Africa. And this is what is going on. And who she was defending? Tarun Tejpal. I mean, look at the man he's accused of. Forget about financial irregularities. Look at his personality in person. I mean, this is ridiculous, nothing else. And please, let's not defend it.
Well, so let me get in Dr. Fuad Ali.
And Navika, one thing more, lots of skeleton. You guys have collected lot of skeletons. Now it's a time to bury the skeletons and just put a fire to it. And the government has to act now. Let the government put the fire to all the skeletons you have collected over a period of time.
Yes, the government has to act, and Gaurav Bhatia, I hope you do note that. But let me get in Dr. Fuad Halim. Dr. Fuad Halim, you know, the Supreme Court made an observation way back when the UPA was in power, and it said it had made a caged parrot out of the CBI. Now, this letter trail tells you exactly how investigation agencies were turned into caged parrots. Because here is a letter that goes out from Sonia Gandhi, and within minutes, the then Finance Minister takes note of the entire issue, summons files relating to the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Board of Direct Taxes, and then actually says, responding back to her, that I've directed all the organizations not to oppose the petitions. I've done what you have said. Is this how investigation agencies were turned into caged parrots, Mr. Fuad Ali?
Well, it's very clear that the documents that are handed over by one government to another government, we all know there's a term called a government in continuation. Irrespective of which political party comes to power, the papers that are handed over continues. And we find it very, very interesting that at this point of time, we've seen that some papers that the government has access to has been leaked out without the government actually taking action on it. And that's surprising. Because, you know, before the leaks, we would have expected the government to have
Dr. Fuad Ali,
you don't want to discuss the serious issue.
Let me please, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, silently. Please, I am not.
Dr. Fuad Ali, you raise this whole issue.
They can have my time. If they are not interested to listen to me,
I will. May I just tell you one issue, Dr. Fuad Ali. Dr. Fuad Ali, may I just tell you that instead of raising questions about the story that has been broken by us, investigated by us, by calling it a leak, why don't you talk about the merits of the case? Why don't you talk about the merits of the case?
Let me finish my opening statements. Let me finish my opening statements. Now, coming to the core question, it's very interesting to note that this cacophony that is being raised is not being followed by action. The Bharatiya Janata Party has never ever delivered on the question of corruption. They are the organization that betrayed the anti-corruption mandate of the people of India.
So today is a day when you want to discuss the BJP
question.
And who brought the Benami Property Act after decades?
Has never
Can you tell us, please?
Express
demonetization
Gaurav,
itself, is it not fight?
Let me finish.
No, Fuad Ali,
allow him to finish.
Thank you for not countering the fact that you all betrayed the anti-corruption mandate of
National
1989.
Herald case,
Thank
Sonia
you, Gaurav,
Gandhi
for accepting that.
and Rahul Gandhi both are out on bail. Was it not our government? Then was it the left government?
Bofors is you have been beating the Bofors drum, Gaurav Bhatia.
You are again siding with the corrupt.
The mandate.
If you want to keep company with the corrupt,
you do not want
I
to
have
deliver
no
on
qualms
corruption.
because
And
the
that
left
is
is out
because
of power.
Gaurav Bhatia,
And believe me, you
all have
will be
always
decimated
beaten
just
the
like
drum
the
of
Congress.
corruption up
After
to the
seeing
point
such
where you
serious
have got people who are
revelations,
corrupt
you don't
into
want
your
to discuss
organization.
Sonia Gandhi's
You have accepted
interference.
Mukul Rai
You want
into
to
your
talk about the
organization.
source.
You have
want to
accepted
talk about the
Shukla.
BJP
You have
tonight.
laid out
Have
the saffron
have you
carpet
lost
for
your sense of
Hemati
objectivity
Biswa
tonight?
in Assam.
Oh, 1 minute, 1 minute,
You should be
1 minute.
ashamed of
Subrashta
talking
is
about
making
corruption.
a point. I'm going across to Subrashta. Subrashta is making a point. Subrashta is making a point.
Corrupt by your own party.
So are you justifying the interference, or are you saying that it is an illegality? Just make your stand clear for the viewers. Entire nation is watching you. Are you justifying what Sonia Gandhi ji did? I have only one question for you.
Fawad Aleem ji, if your scripted party position is clear, may I please come in?
Not going to be able to outshout you. Let's allow her to make her point. Subrashta.
But why
Is
he
there
always not allowed to make a
prosecutable
point?
evidence
He's
of
going on as a monologue.
Navika ji,
I think you should give him an extra minute. He has a
Navika
lot of
ji,
explaining to do, Navika. You're not being fair.
Okay.
No, lot of explaining to do. And
1 minute, again.
Navika ji,
creating a cacophony
I
is
know.
not going to help.
We are only
Okay.
exposing the Congress.
Okay. You should have heard
Absolutely, that's
Subrashta ji, you should have heard Tehseen Poonawala
What action
saying,
is the government of
actually
India
taking
going to
side
take
of the
on
CPIM and saying, why don't you allow our side to speak? Now CPIM and Congress are on the same side. Please note, viewers, CPIM and Congress are on the same side. Subrashta, make your point.
Come on.
I am taking the Bharatiya Janata Party's
but
position
Navika
on
ji,
this,
I have been
Navika.
telling it
I
right
am
from the
taking
very
BJP
second or third
position on
debate.
this. I am
Like
asking the
they will not allow me to speak, Navika ji. Let me put it out very clearly to your viewers that whether it is the Congress or whether it is the Communist Party, they will not allow me to speak because they know for a fact that from the third or fourth debate that I have been coming to, I have been talking about a Congress Communist clandestine combine, which now I have started articulating as a concerted combine. Because the point of the matter, Navika ji, is very simple. Tehseen Poonawala ji is anyway not known for being very, courteous to women. He has tweeted a lot of stuff about Smriti Irani ji, which is not even mentionable on national media. No, I'll tell you what it has to do with the debate, because it is exactly the way you button. The way you button. The way, whatever Tehseen ji, we don't, hardworking individuals like me do not need you to, make a name. And Tehseen ji, please, I am getting 2 minutes for facts, sir. Do not try to mansplain me, Mr. Tehseen Poonawala ji. That those are allegations and you will be sued for saying that.
You have the guts.
I will not say, I do not, I'm not.
Approach the court to file a defamation case.
I am sorry, Mr. Tehseen Poonawala ji.
Serious charges.
Robert
Vadra, Robert Vadra did not even muster the courage. You are obsessed with Sonia Gandhi
and how private limited companies work. Understand exactly. Not just that. Tehseen Poonawala ji, Mr. Shikh Singh Ahluwalia's wife runs ICRIER. Have you ever questioned her on that? She was literally dictating policies in the UPA regime. Do not get into this debate, Tehseen Poonawala. The point of the matter is, Navika, that this is an attempt to derail the debate from Italian Madam Sonia Gandhi, who has literally held a couple of people in the media by the nose. She has treated them like piddy. She has treated them like dogs. And I say it with absolute responsibility. Otherwise, tell me why is it that shit sheet? I am not in a debate on Sonia Gandhi, sir. You should have asked your bloody anchors in the bloody organizations that you have picked to hold a debate on India Foundation. And I would have come
language
on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, language please. Language
Talk about India Foundation.
Language
Talk
please.
about
1 minute. 1 minute.
I will not talk about India
Okay. Let's come back to the issue. Let's come back to the debate. Let's come back to the debate and let me get in Alimuddin Khan. Let me get in Alimuddin Khan. 1 minute. Subrashtra ji. Subrashtra ji.
Where is your defense minister getting money?
Please allow us to maintain the decorum on this debate.
Language, please.
Navika ji, there is a question raised on my organization and I must answer. Rajya Sabha TV has paid, while Hamid Ansari was there, more than 50 lakh to the person who broke the story full of allegations. These are stories with no factual bearing.
Let's not digress from the debate. We are digressing from the debate and I want to come back. I want to come back to the debate. And Alimuddin Khan Saab, I want to ask you a direct question. You know, all this while in 2014 August, in 2000. Okay, Subrashtra ji. Okay.
Because they are scared. Because you've throttled democracy. There is no democracy left. People are being arrested for drawing cartoons. You'll sue people who write stories of how 80,000 is.
And this is democracy. And this is democracy. This is democracy. This is democracy. This is democracy.
Tonight, are we discussing India Foundation or are we discussing the letter? I'm raising a few questions.
Alimuddin, no, you will both have to wait for your turn because I'm going across to Alimuddin Khan. Subrashtra ji, calm down.
Come on, Navika, language. I have Godse's followers cannot.
Subrashtra ji.
Godse's followers cannot mind the language.
Okay, I'm going across to Alimuddin Khan. Alimuddin Khan, I'm asking you the simple question that look at the mail trail that we have accessed. These letters, Subrashtra ji, I'll have to ask you to keep quiet, otherwise I have to lower your fader down. Subrashtra ji, please wait. Please allow the two other panelists have to still make a point. Allow them to come in. Alimuddin Khan Saab, why should the Fukan Commission that was investigating Tehelka have to be wound up within 7 days of Sonia Gandhi's letter? Question number 1. And question number 2 that I ask you, how dare the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram say that he has directed the income tax authorities not to oppose the petition of those who were being investigated by the then Income Tax Department? May I ask you, isn't this direct interference in investigation?
Absolutely.
Navika ji, I will answer your question, but let me tell you something first. 4 ministers, एक Commerce Minister, Defence Minister, External Affairs Minister, and one more Minister, Civil Aviation Minister, are directors in India Foundation. And this foundation is getting money from Boeing. Boeing is a US company. So how a constitutional power?
What Sonia Gandhi has for India Foundation? How dare you trying to deflect the
director in India Foundation?
Why are you trying to deflect the case? As a political analyst, not a Congress spokesperson.
Let me complete, sir.
This is Sonia Gandhi and Tejpal have
the setup of this country and
why you are diverting India? Why you are diverting the issue?
When you are going to slap,
why are you diverting the issue? Why can't you speak on the issue?
Money has flown in from
when you are going to slap on these 4 ministers, where a Saudi prince also involved in this foundation.
They have nothing
and
to
on 15th of December, on 15th of December, they are going to have some kind of seminar in Goa, where they will invite all companies and all these ministers will go there, all the officers will go there, and then these companies will influence these
how does that explain Sonia Gandhi's letter? How does that explain this letter, sir?
On these
how does that explain this letter?
To resign.
How does that explain Sonia Gandhi's letter and Finance Minister P. Chidambaram's actions?
Bring them to book, to give them to give justice to the country.
So you have no answer for Sonia Gandhi's letter. You have no answer for Sonia Gandhi's letter.
You guys are the guys who
They have already conceded that yes, there was an illegality, impropriety on part of Sonia Gandhi ji, because they don't have any defense. And today, look at Alimuddin, who is generally shouting. Today he is not even shouting because he is so afraid of all the truths that have been revealed. Alimuddin ji, tell me, is it right on part of Sonia Gandhi ji to direct the finance minister to interfere in ongoing investigations? Why should she?
Alimuddin Khan Sahab,
I am asking you
Mr. Alimuddin Khan, my viewers have a question, and Subrashta ji, please calm down. Please calm down. Alimuddin Khan Sahab, my viewer CJ is asking a question. Did India Foundation work with Mr. Chidambaram and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi? Why are they relevant to the debate? The debate today is about Sonia Gandhi's letter and the action of the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. Why don't you respond to that question? Why don't you respond to that question? And if you don't have a response to that question, I can go on. I can go on to the next panelist.
Can I respond?
Because we have Meera Kumar also.
Okay, Subrashta ji, this is not about an India Foundation event. Subrashta ji, this is not about an Indian Foundation event. So kindly do not give explanations.
Investigation of the case.
That's
all.
What? You need to
explain
this to abusive.
What for political
Okay.
I have two questions.
Okay. Ravi Sharma.
Both will answer these questions.
Ravi Sharma. Let me get in. Subrashta ji and Alimuddin Khan, please put their mics down, because I need to get in Ravi Sharma, who's the lawyer of Tarun Tejpal. Ravi Sharma, the question here is very direct. Tarun Tejpal writes a letter to the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, and he says, wind up the Phukan Commission.
Tarun's other cases. I've not been engaged by Tarun ever. When the matter happened, I was not even a lawyer. That being the case, see,
okay,
what any interference with the due process of law is bad. But it's not the first time that such interference has happened. There are ministers in the sitting Modi government who have written to the Commissioner of Police asking them to close the investigation in the DDCA scam. Was that not improper? If you cannot have double yardsticks, no? If what Sonia Gandhi did was wrong, so what Mr. Jaitley did was also wrong. Why are you not having debate on that?
Mr. Jaitley has Mr. Jaitley written to the police commissioner? Has Mr. Jaitley written to the police commissioner?
The viewers today
he has written on two occasions to the police commissioner.
And you are a lawyer, so I ask you,
July 2012.
what is your take when somebody as senior as Sonia Gandhi ji,
he has asked the police commissioner to close the investigation against Tehelka in the DDCA
It is interference with investigation.
Are you not privy to it? And Mr. Jaitley, he's an honorable man. He has admitted to writing of this. Mr. Jaitley, being an honorable man, has not denied this.
Ravi Sharma, I'm coming back to both of you. Mr. Ravi Sharma, let me put this straight on record. Mr. Jaitley has never written.
If he's a doctor or a lawyer,
if you have any letter, kindly produce it on the show. If not, please do not make any baseless allegations. Yes, let's come back to the issue of Sonia Gandhi's letter trail, and I'm coming back to the both gentlemen here in the studios. Yes, Tehseen Poonawalla first before I come to you. Tehseen Poonawalla, may I ask you? Okay, Ravi Sharma, kindly calm down. Yes, Ravi Sharma, you said you have no point to make about Tarun Tejpal. Then kindly counter allegations without any substance is not something that you can be allowed to do. I'm asking you, Tehseen Poonawalla, Is it a mere coincidence that 27th of September 2004? Yaar, ye Ravi Sharma ka please fader down karo because he's going on interfering. He's not allowing Tehseen Poonawala also to speak. Ravi Sharma, I've told you if you don't have any material fact to make, don't make false, baseless allegations. If you're making allegations, produce the documents. Tehseen Poonawala, I'm asking you the simple question. Is it a mere coincidence that on 27th of September 2004, Sonia Gandhi writes a letter, on 5th of October, the Fukan Commission is wound up? Coincidence?
That's the question, I didn't understand.
You didn't understand the question?
The
whole country is asking. The whole country is asking this question.
But I'll answer. I understand come on. Again, I'm not allowed to speak. Please. I'll just take exactly 1 minute. Come on. Again.
Okay, Subrashtam, let him make his point.
I'll take.
Okay, Tehseen, make your point.
I need exactly 1 minute. Even if Mrs. Gandhi, if you're alleging has done anything wrong, you're alleging she's done something wrong, why would she write a letter? She would, come on, this is heckling. This is now heckling. I am not allowed to speak. She's again talking in between. Why would she write a letter and put it on records? Number two, Chidambaram's record, what you said, the letter is a draft letter. Put out the fair copy in front of people and was action taken. No, Mr. Chidambaram has put his point out. But the moot point is, today, 2006 letters you all are talking about, the government is in part has all the right to investigate it, do what it wants to do with it. I am asking one question. If that was wrong, the Congress today is suffering, it's down to 46. I am giving you facts of cases where there has been conflict of interest, where a Chief Justice of India who gives clean chit has been made a governor. I'm giving you facts of Shaurya Doval's case. Why are those cases action not being taken? Remove those ministers as officer of profit.
We are saying,
I would like to respond.
We are saying action.
Let me respond.
The Congress is, one second, just 30 seconds more.
Yes,
you believe the Congress is wrong? It's out of power, investigate it. But follow up with the same standards, take action against Sushma Swaraj, take action against Vasundhara Raje, whose son Dushant was a partner in those Havelis, and take action against these 4 ministers in India Foundation who are getting money from Boeing and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Okay, Gaurav Bhatia is responding.
I won't interrupt you, I never did.
So his best defense is that if Congresses have done this, especially Sonia Gandhi ji, would they be fools to, also do it in writing? Yes, Congresses are corrupt and they are dumb also. That is why they have done it this way. But that does not absolve them of the illegality. He spoke about electoral results, Yes, Congress is down to 44. Maybe in the next election, they'll be down to 4. What we are discussing here is a criminal act and illegality, an act of impropriety. And let me tell you, you were harping too much on the cabinet status. Under the constitution, there is no such thing as... I will. No, I think this is very unfair. I really thought that you would... I have some points to make.
Why don't
do that. I think you stand exposed because I did not interrupt you.
You did interrupt me.
I really thought as a co-panelist, I should extend you that courtesy. And I wanted the viewers to know whether you have any defense or not. But you did not defend them. So let me do my duty as a citizen, not as a spokesperson. I will in the end, I promise you. Okay, now give me some time. Now, most importantly, under the constitution, there is no such thing as cabinet rank. In fact, the Supreme Court has frowned upon this practice of giving cabinet ranks. The cabinet rank person does not take any oath under the constitution. P. Chidambaram ji, who was the finance minister, took an oath of secrecy under the constitution, which he has violated with impunity. So not just Sonia Gandhi ji, even Manmohan Singh ji, because he has acted on the letter, and P. Chidambaram are equally guilty. Now let me just pinpoint a few things which are very troubling for every citizen. A letter written to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Look at the audacity of Tarun Tejpal. He first demands scrap J. Fukan Commission of Inquiry, which was scrapped. Second, he says that please, the government should also make material compensation to us for taking action. Look at the audacity, a private person asking the government to direct that there should be material compensation. And why does he do so? Because he said that I had put a story in my magazine like the bloodbath in Gujarat. So now the government, Congress government, is duty bound to also return the favor. And third, he says penalize all government servants. Is this what we expect? A citizen had the courage to write, the temerity to write to the Prime Minister of the country to say that government officials from ED, CBI, IT should be penalized and punished, should be put behind bars. Not Tarun Tejpal, because they were doing their duty. Such is the regime of Congress. Not just corrupt, they are morally bankrupt. And this troubles us the most.
But Ajay Alok, and may I say Ajay Alok that when in June Tarun Tejpal makes these audacious requests of the government, Sonia Gandhi follows it up with a letter in September of 2004, and on October 5th the commission is wound up. What does that prove, Ajay Alok?
That proves that all strings were in the hands of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. She controlled the Prime Minister, she controlled the Finance Minister, and they were working on her instruction. And Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and now Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he has also proved on one occasion that they don't have an iota of respect for any constitutional post or constitutional chair or any person holding. The classical example is tearing off the ordinance in the name of corruption, which was duly given up by his own government, by his own Prime Minister, but he cared a hoot. So this was happening. That's what I'm telling you. Today, people of this country must believe that last 10 years, India operated like a banana country. Well, and if this is going to repeat again in the future, we all are sitting on the panel, we must acknowledge that this is a worst thing that has to be happen, and this is shameful for every Indian. This is the fact. And let's not defend. This is something wrong has happened. And if this disclosure has come now after 13 years, this is also a matter of concern that where all these documents were hiding for the last 13 years. And the current government must inquire into this and see to it that anybody who holds the office of constitution or constitutional post, they should be accountable, if not Mrs. Sonia Gandhi.
Well, my viewers tonight, viewers of Newshour are writing in tonight, and Balram Manohar says, this is what happens when the power center resides outside PMO. Shame that Dr. Manmohan Singh allowed the cabinet working in this manner to be directed by Sonia Gandhi, the National Advisory Council chairperson. And CJ says, Bofors till date, the Italian mafia has looted this country. Even today, they will sell the nation to be back in power. Questions being raised on the extra constitutional authority that was exerted by Sonia Gandhi, the chairperson of the National Advisory Council, on the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. Why did P. Chidambaram then interfere in the investigation process is a question that will haunt the Congress party in the times to come. Will the BJP, will the government at the centre investigate this entire issue? Surely it should, for transparency to be brought and for questions to be answered for the people, the citizens of India. Thank you very much for joining me here on Sonia Tejpal Quid Pro Quo. We take a short break. Anand Narasimhan coming up with the Newshour at 10 on the other side. Don't go away.